Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MLG Spring Arena #1. I'm Rob Simpson, and here with me is Grubby. Once again, we're reunited. Coming up right now, this is going to be a massive PvP between Huck and MC.
Yeah, and we already know that Huck is in a very difficult position in this tournament. He needs something like, besides winning against MC, he also needs 3 to 4 other results to completely
go his way. He needs like the planets to align. He needs to make sure that like the tide is in the right spot. The moon has to be a certain distance from the Earth.
Yeah, and he needs to have the strength to jump a chasm of 50 meters.
Right, which shouldn't be an issue, man. He's got, he's pretty well built. I think as long as he springs up, he should be good.
I think people of his size can jump about 10 times their own height.
Oh man, so game #1 here is going to be on Entombed, and down here in the lower right-hand corner of the map, playing as the blue Protoss representing SK, this is MC. And in the upper right-hand corner of the map, he needs the planets to align. He also needs to be able to flip a coin and land it on heads 30 times in a row, representing Evil Geniuses, this is Huck. So, PvP, Manuel.
PvP, man. I'm so glad to be casting a PvP here and with you reunited, and it feels so good. Huck and MC know each other very well. I was under the impression that Huck beats MC more than 50% of the time, but I also heard from you that they haven't met against each other for too much recently.
I don't think that they've met, at least in MLG. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they haven't met since Orlando. But I could be horribly mistaken. I think that that was like the consensus. If you like walk down the hall and ask other people what they think, the only match that they remember is like, oh yeah, Orlando.
All right.
And they don't really think about anything else. There's got to be something that we're missing though. And I mean, just that these guys are friends, they probably actually play against each other quite a bit more than any of us get to see. Yeah,
that's definitely possible. I do think they're still staying in the same house not too long from now, not too long ago. Huck choosing not to scout at all, and in PvP that's kind of been making an entrance. Huck has also gone for a second assimilator, a second gateway, and his cybernetic score was a little bit faster than that of MC. And now the way it works when you go for a non-scouting opening, you need to kind of defend yourself against certain contingencies, and you also but it helps because it makes your build a lot crisper. Once you get a lot of experience with kind of measuring out what you need to make in what order, basically planning out the first 5 to 6 minutes of the game or so, it really helps having that extra probe there constantly mining more. You're gonna get more gas and more minerals, and you're gonna be safe against a 4-gate, whereas otherwise you would not doing the exact same thing without that extra probe. So has gone for 2 gates and got this 4th stalker out, and now getting 2 more stalkers, and he could be following that up with something like double sentry, but it's really up to him what he's gonna follow it up with.
MC go over here getting out his robo very quickly. Now what's MC gonna end up going for in this game? Like,
well, he's got a pretty fast 2 gases. MC did make a Zealot first, so I think it's just gonna go something like Zealot, Stalker, Sentry, and then into Observer and Immortal, and then it could be anything. He could be adding a few more gates and then Twilight Council. He could also be going to something like a 1-base Colossus type of play. However, we don't see that too much from MC. Expansion is also possible.
And now we see Huck. He did place a forward pylon up there. He's following up with yet another one. It seems like Huck's going to try to get as aggressive as he can a little bit early. He does have that 1-gate advantage right now, but as we can see, MC has quite a few units already ready for him at the top of that ramp. And really, MC just needs to buy enough time to get that Immortal out.
Yeah, and when you're doing this type of play, 1 gate and 1 robo, you usually don't add extra gateways until you get that first Immortal out, because you can actually defend a 4-gate or a 3-gate pressure. Force field, a little bit awkward. The Zealot did die, and a probe got in and plants down 3 pylons. MC has to be careful here. Got the second force field, and now he's going to be finding Immortals very quick at taking down those pylons. Does not have another force field right now, and the gateway is in use. But does Huck know that? He doesn't know, but he just has the guts to go and move in here. takes
Oh!
down that Immortal, and now there's almost nothing
Wow.
in the terms of resistance left for MC.
Yeah, now there's almost no way that MC is going to be able to hold this. Of course, Huck is going to get in there as soon as he powers down those 2 pylons. That is going to be the nail in the coffin for MC. Now we see MC is starting to pull all of his probes. Oh, and he distracts just barely long enough. The Immortal is going to be able to come out, but of course he can just focus fire it down, and he just has so many extra Stalkers right now that the assault will continue, and this is looking fantastic for Huck. He's also bringing in a few additional units as well, bringing in 3 more Stalkers. Oh, and there goes the pylon, meaning that Huck wins this game, and MC is forced to tap out.
Wow.
Whew.
So it is such a crisp defense, and I mean, I want to talk a little bit about Huck's opening,
Yeah.
because he showed 2 quick gateways, and usually what that means, and he also didn't scout, is saying something like, I'm going to be defensive, I'm going to use these 2 gateways to be defensive, and I know that because I didn't scout, you could be 4-gating, and I want to make sure that,
I can
if you
hold
do
off.
4-gate, that I can hold it off, so I'm going to follow up with like sentries or something like that. No, he added a 3rd gateway, he kept making Stalkers, and he used that very aggressively. And usually when you do see a kind of 3-gateway aggression like this, it's preceded by making at least 1 Zealot, because he can nicely walk up the ramp first, and then the Stalkers can shoot upwards. But he just made a big amount of Stalkers and walked up there. And it all comes down to that single first force field. It has to be perfect, and the way you want to do it, maybe you trap 1 Stalker in, you don't let the probe in. Rather you just make a premature force field and keep everything out, rather than let that probe